Good morning. Thursday morning, heading out to Rothchild Boulevard. Marathon of meetings right there all day. Meeting Yonit for breakfast. You met her a couple of weeks ago. And then coming back towards Beit Shemesh to have a meeting with Ben Abrahams. Literally marathon of meetings all day. And tonight, going back to Tel Aviv for a concert on the weekend. Big fan of Thursdays. Here we go. Made it to Rothchild Boulevard. Elon got me parking in the building. Super awesome because there is no parking anywhere. It's before 8 a.m. Rothchild Boulevard. Finishing up a meeting here in Cacao, my go-to kosher place here in Tel Aviv. I love this place, and my next meeting's in 5 minutes. I said there's no way I'm not getting this guy in video because one of my biggest pain points with the vlog is most episodes are 20 to 30 minutes long, which is a discussion in and of itself. But with social, you need to like summarize that in a way that people who have ADD, as in everyone, can watch. So I need like summaries of my vlog, 7-10 seconds, but I'm not alone in that. Every publisher out there, anybody who's generating any video needs to be able to display their video in a shorter, on a more targeted way. Meet Minute. Who are you?
Hi.
What's your name?
My name is Amit. I'm a friend with a lot of people that Hillel knows. And
It's like the ecosystem. We're all family here.
Yep.
Okay.
And we're doing some cool stuff for the largest brands across the US.
Are you allowed to talk about some of your customers, or you're not allowed to talk about it publicly? Right. Like literally name any large sports entity in the world. You guys are working with them.
Not only sports. It could be, entertainment, news.
Is there anybody you're allowed to talk about, or no one lets?
We'll do it soon.
All right, so, okay, so the biggest, like literally the biggest. That's number one. Number two, I'm trying to think how to say this, and I'm being very sensitive to his... Does he not see that I'm filming here? What's going on? I'm being sensitive to his business needs here, but the biggest, most influential people on the internet want a part of the action. That's how hot this company is. Really quick elevator pitch. What is Minute?
We're helping publishers and content creators to do more with their videos. Actually, we will take your video content. We will analyze everything, diagnose it, and understand what we see there. And then we will pull out 5 to 7 seconds that will grab the attention of every user across the web.
So let me just get this straight. You take this video. Now this video has a lot of different components. It has the background, it has the foreground, it has the audio, it has all kinds of stuff going on. And you analyze the content of the video.
Yep.
So I'm assuming you're doing all the buzzword stuff, the machine learning, the AI, the NLP, all of it.
Deep learning.
Deep learning, all of it. Okay, so there are a lot of people, a lot of companies that are doing this, but you're applying it to something different. So Eddie Clip was on the vlog. They do it for more, let's call it advertising / privacy / I want to call it, I don't know what they would call it, but it's like, so that Google doesn't have like porn on YouTube, for example. That's what they would do it for. There are other companies that do it, but you're doing it for, let's call it increased engagement.
Exactly.
Okay.
Another thing, you have an option to, once we're getting into your archive,
Yes.
we will analyze everything.
Okay.
Everything that you have.
Love it.
And then your content will be searchable with our platform. And then you can actually search and recreate your
archive.
content.
Interesting.
Yes.
Create an archive. I love that. Would you say that Israel? How many video companies do you think there are in this country? Like literally, how many? Just throw out a number.
30.
That's it.
20. The
all
big
together?
ones?
No, not all ones. Altogether, video startups. Would you say? I think probably hundreds. I'm not even kidding. I've seen so many.
I guess you know better than me.
We've become like it's funny, like in the drone space, we're becoming somewhat of a superpower in every space where like Israel's dominating. I love it. But anyway, I mean, it's just interesting that we haven't met till today. We've met in Google because both of us work as part of like a Google mentorship thing, but we've never actually sat down and met, which is crazy. Right. But I also got, am I allowed to talk about who introduced us?
Sure, of course.
He'll kill me though, because he's like, every time I take a selfie with him, he's like, no, I don't want to be on my... Gadi Veinrib is just an amazing individual. I just absolutely love the guy. We're not going to talk about what he does. It's a topic for another time. But in any case, like I said to you before, Any introduction that comes from Gadi, there's no questions asked. I'm really glad we got a chance to meet. It was way too short, and you also you didn't get a chance to demo the technology to me either.
We will do it.
You know what that means?
Nope.
We have to do a follow-up.
Let's do it.
And you know what you're bringing to our next meeting, right?
Yes.
What? A t-shirt. Love it. All right, man, I gotta run to my next meeting. It was great to hang out. Looking forward to our next meeting, man.
Thank you very
Thanks.
much, man.
It's not often you walk around the streets of Tel Aviv and you bump into celebrities like the Kivaiko. Yair.
Shalom.
So this week, someone on the internet discovered that Jay-Z's t-shirt that said Shalom and Peace, that Netflix removed the Shalom, the Hebrew letter, and it went viral. Like, how many publications picked it up? Like everyone.
In Israel, everyone, and now it's going global.
Your tweet got like thousands and thousands of retweets. It went completely viral. How many followers do you have on Twitter?
7,000, I think.
7,000. So that's a big number, but it doesn't, you know.
It's not huge.
It's not huge, and
big.
still you're going completely viral. That just shows the power of the internet, dude.
Yeah, people are already saying they're like, yeah, we're gonna delete our Netflix account.
Really?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
they're crazy.
I have one question for you.
Yeah.
When are we having coffee?
Soon, very soon. You always welcome to come visit us.
Up
Just
here?
here.
Done.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it. I'll shoot you a
Second.
message. We're gonna have coffee.
Yeah,
It's a good place.
We'll
First time I've ever been here. Very good.
Yeah, so you gotta come to meeting place. Yeah.
Done.
And to have coffee with
We'll
me.
catch up soon, man. Good to see you, bro.
Sure.
What a great surprise. So happy. In other news, this is a highly attractive vehicle. Too bad it's German, and I don't do German, but it is still a pretty automobile. Last meeting of the day, last meeting of the week. So we've been connected now on LinkedIn for like what?
5 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so how have we never met? I'm not sure, but that's a topic for another time. But then, a couple of weeks ago, I want to say you reached out and you name dropped. And I said it in the most positive way, not in a negative way. Because when anyone ever says the name Efrat Dagan to me, it's game over. I'm meeting that person. And Efrat suggested we meet. Efrat Dagan, for those that don't know, is the lead recruiter at Google. She pretty much single-handedly, she's going to get very angry at me for saying this, she's pretty much single-handedly built Google Tel Aviv. She recruited everyone there. I think Tag Adler, who you've met, recruited her. But she's now in San Francisco, not in San Francisco, I met her in Mountain View last time, just a couple of weeks ago. She's a pretty big decision maker at Google. An amazing person. Just an amazing person. So Efrat told you we should meet. You said Efrat told you we should meet. There's no question we were meeting. So we met. And I want to like start off with the fact that I'm in the mall in this cafe here, and I start walking over and I see this guy, and I figured that's him. And he's walking around with, can you like hold up what you're walking around with, please? He's walking around like the mall with this thing, and I'm like, what is happening right now? Put it back down before it falls.
Okay.
And I'm like, what is happening? And you then said to me, this is something for you, and I'm like, oh my God, what did this person do? And then you said two things to me. Please, first of all, let's just hold on a second. Before we tell the story, who are you? What's your name?
My name's Ben Abrahams.
Ben Abrahams. Okay. Before we talk about what's in the box, I feel like Brad Pitt. What's in the box? What did you say to me?
I said that about 5 years ago, my website went down because the guy who was working on it in England, he went bankrupt and his servers went down, and I said I have no website.
How did you even find me?
And then a friend of mine called Adiel Levin.
Oh, I know Adiel Levin.
So Adiel said, you should get in contact with Hillel Fuld. He'll know someone who can build your website pretty quick. So I sent you an email. Put me in touch with a gentleman that you work with at 24Me called Aviv Calendar, and he said he's the guru, he'll sort you out. And Aviv and I have been friends for the past 5 years, really good friends. He built me a great site.
I have zero recollection of this entire dialogue, this entire interaction. But you know what? Before you tell me the second reason, well, what was the second reason? I don't remember the second reason. What was the second reason?
So the second reason was
Just meeting, like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, the second reason is on the cake.
Oh right. We'll talk. Oh, you just ruined the surprise. Okay, fine. I'll show you what's in the thing in a second. But okay. But more importantly, like, I have zero recollection of this interaction. But you know what? He emailed me. I responded. I connected him. I mean, I gained, quote unquote, I gained nothing, right? But it impacted someone's life. Like, clearly it impacted someone's life. 5 years later, and like, you still remember that. Like, this is, again, I always say it, I'm gonna keep saying it until you guys listen. You do good for others, everyone wins, period. there's nothing else to say. Like, for me, that was an email. It took 2 seconds. Most people might not have spent that extra 2 seconds to make an effort for a stranger. For me, it was a no-brainer. Like, this guy's asking, I can help him. I know someone who can help. It's a win-win, and it impacted his life. Now let's open the box. Show me what's in the box.
So, no, the second reason was also that...
Wait, don't say what it is.
I know, I'm just going to say it. That one of the things that I'm sort of big on is you got to celebrate those achievements.
Right. So you said, I like what you said. You said, I'm like a freelancer. Like, I advise companies. Yeah. You're a freelancer. And, when you're in a company and you achieve something, everyone celebrates, whatever. As a freelancer, you maybe sometimes don't often celebrate your achievements. So unbox it, please. Unfreaking believable. I mean, this is a person that I've never met before. A person that I helped 5 years ago with some random intro. Person that we've been connected on LinkedIn now. When I went traveling to places that he had been before, he recommended different places to me, invited me to come over and drone because he's a beautiful guy. Like, just, he has friends online. But like, the guy went out of his way to go not only buy me a cake, which was insanely unnecessary, but a beautiful gesture, but actually like write something meaningful. Congrats on your 200th episode, which is like, for me, like mind-boggling that I've reached 200 episodes, but that's a topic for another time, which we'll talk about. But I mean, that was super duper nice of you.
Thank you.
Unnecessarily.
No, it's a lot of work you put in there, and people need to, sort of know how much you put in.
Thank you very, very much. Honestly, it's really a beautiful thing you did. Now let's talk a little bit about you, because I think you have a really, really interesting story. Let's just like run through it. You worked for a very long time in England as a lawyer, working on like billion-dollar deals, like hundreds of millions of dollars to billions of dollars deals, like in
acquisition finance, real estate, property finance.
Yeah, across the board.
Big ticket stuff.
Across the board. Then you came to Israel.
Yeah.
And you decided to take a very interesting turn in your career and started a, let's call it, talent acquisition / HR / recruiting firm with your wife.
Correct.
You did that, worked with some big names, did very well in that, and now you're like figuring out what's next.
Correct.
Is that right?
Yeah.
We good so far? Okay. So I've talked about this many times, and I'm gonna say it one more time because I think this is such a key point in our world, in the professional world. Do you remember a platform, a website called dig.com? Remember this?
Yeah.
So there was Reddit and there was Dig, and Reddit basically won. Reddit is probably one of the most popular websites on the internet now, and they beat Dig. And when they asked Kevin Rose, the founder of Dig, who then became Google Ventures, they asked him, why did you lose to Reddit? What's the lesson that you learned? He said something that I find super duper profound that I quote almost every day. And that is, he said, I built my team based on skills and not based on talent. Meaning I hired a developer that could write a certain type of code, and when that code became obsolete, the person became obsolete because they weren't talented. He said, I should have built my team for talent. And in talent, you can repurpose. I'll tell you one thing. You've done law. You've done recruiting. I don't even care what you've done. You're a talented individual. You're a talented and obviously a very thoughtful individual. No, I'm serious. I'm not just saying that to like butter you up. I'm serious, right? And I think that, I think you'd be a phenomenal asset to any Israeli company in a business development capacity. Because again, you've done billion-dollar transactions. You could close these deals. And you need to break into the Israeli tech scene. Let's just call it that. You're here, your family, all's good. But I feel like we have to find you. And when I say we, I say me. I mean me. I'm going to find you a company that understands and appreciates talent. Now, if it's in a marketing capacity, and you need to, let's say, I'm just giving you a very simple example, run their Twitter account as part of your marketing, so you'll learn that. I mean, you have a story right there. We're all over the place today. But you have a story about Twitter, which is crazy in and of itself. Let's tell it really briefly, because we're at 8 minutes already, and my editor's going to murder me. What was your story with Twitter?
No problem. I booked tickets to go to New York to see Tony Robbins, and I called up the following day, and it sold out completely. And this was like Christmas Eve 3 years ago.
But you flew in without tickets?
No. So I bought the tickets, and then I said to my wife, I said, we're just going to go on holiday then, because we're not going to be going to see Tony Robbins.
No, but I'm saying you went to see Tony Robbins.
Yeah, that was the reason to go.
You flew in without the tickets to Tony Robbins.
I had no tickets, no.
Right, so that was risky.
It was completely risky.
Okay, so you got there and it was sold out. So you had flown in to see Tony Robbins and the show was sold out.
Right.
So what did you do?
So I
thought out of the box.
I went on Twitter.
I don't think you pay me for marketing, man. I'm like, yeah, okay.
So I went on Twitter.
Yeah.
I sent him a couple of tweets.
Tony Robbins.
Tony Robbins to his personal account saying, hey, it's like going to a club and not being allowed in. I bought tickets, yeah.
Love it.
And his PA later contacted me and said, he has people running his Twitter account, but on Christmas Eve, he runs his own account.
Okay.
There's no one there.
Right.
And then this would have been like Christmas Day 3 years ago, I started getting these DMs into my account saying, hey Ben, I'm really sorry we're sold out, but So if you send your flight itinerary details and everything to my PA, I'll hook you up with some tickets for however many people you're bringing in my friends and family section. And I was sat next to Hugh Jackman and all these NFL, UFC stars.
Wait, so you went to Tony Robbins in the friends and family section, sat next to actors, and just because you sent them one tweet, and you had no followers, like you were like just starting.
No followers.
Need I say more? Twitter is a remarkable platform, and anybody who's not on Twitter in the business world is missing out. That's what I'm saying. Listen, man, we're already at 10 minutes. Joseph's gonna murder me. We are going to do a follow-up meeting with a drone on your porch. Thank you so much for the cake. That was insanely unnecessary, but highly appreciated. We're gonna find you, but you gotta work at an amazing place. Like I feel like you're gonna bring a lot to the table. You need to find an amazing place. We're gonna work on it.
Thank you.
And yeah, man, it was fantastic to meet you, and appreciate everything, man. I'm looking forward to our next meeting.
Likewise.
Thanks, dude. Wow, that cake is pretty incredible. An amazing way to end the week. It was an amazing week. Next week, gonna be nuts. Week after that, I'm going to New York to do a freaking commencement speech at Touro College in front of 2,700 people. That's a little scary. See you next week.